I know what I'm doing. Alright there, you little demons. Jules here from WhatCulture.com, back again with another episode of the awesomely named and awfully hosted Choose Your Own Adventure, the weekly medieval-themed format where I, the crown Jules of WhatCulture.com, take a list chosen by you. Yes, you, the person who possibly looks a little bit more crazy than normal, because I got that crazy. I've got a burst blood vessel up in here. I don't know if you can actually see. Dan, zoom in as much as you can. That's too much, mate. A little bit less. There we go. Oh, look at that. Creepy. Yes, you get to decide which. Am I dying? Who knows? Yes, you get to decide what list I dole out to you each and every week. And this week we have none other than Kevin Chong for their suggestion of video game companions that was so utterly stanky strong that basically you got in their way. Yes, that's right, the 8 video game companions, whether outright NPCs or playable party members, that we're going to cover today all skirt on the fringes of being grossly overpowered, albeit in a way that is totally awesome. It's kind of the same relationship that Dan and I, in the fact that I may be the person that is at the front and center of things, but Dan definitely has the power to make me look very, very stupid. It's worrying, actually. With great power comes great responsibility, and I'm glad that he's pretty responsible, let's put it that way. As so, and then the cut to the hard cut here. Unless you keep this bit in. God, now I've said it, he's going to do it all the way through. As I'm Jules, this is WhatCulture.com, and these are 8 video game companions that basically were so strong you were getting in their way. And you know the drill by now. Put your suggestions for next week's episode down in the comment section below. And with that in mind, let's get on with this list, shall we? Yes, we shall. With number 8, Forks from Fallout 3. Now, he may look like a cross between a testicle and some leftovers that you forgot about at the bottom of the fridge, but Fallout 3's companion character Forks is a gosh dang unit. A giant hulking pillar of super mutant man meat whose hit points dwarf those of other sidekicks. And not only is he ridiculously strong, but he's carrying an absolutely OP weapon with him in the form of a Gatling laser. I mean, he's just literally just ticking the 2 big boxes of is strong and oh dear, I'm dead. In fact, the main story even draws attention to this itself during its widely derided original ending, where somebody needs to enter the irradiated control room and activate a water purifier. Now, it's blindingly obvious to anyone with Hawks in their ranks that he should be the one to do it, given that as a radiation-immune mutant he'd survive doing so, but the game instead railroads you into picking either Sarah Lyons or yourself. And I remember the first time that I came across this, it was pretty, well, annoying to say the least. I was just like, aha, I've actually outgamed this game. I know that Forks is immune to radiation, so I'm going to ask him to come in. And he goes, nah, mate, it's your destiny to die. I'm like, it can also be my destiny to not die. Have you ever thought about that? We've had good times together, mate. Why are you putting such a stinky air on this? Come on, just do me a favor. Do me a favor. And he's like, nah. And I'm like, yeah, fair enough. I can't make you either. And that's Fallout 3 in a nutshell, really. If you've got the ultra-durable juggernaut that is Forks on your side, you can't help but seem like a bit of a spare part yourself. Number 7, Elizabeth, BioShock Infinite. Let's just face facts here. When it comes to talking about the best characters in BioShock Infinite, Booker DeWitt is not in that conversation. He's an asshole to start with, and you just get outshined every single step of the way by how good Elizabeth is. She accompanies the player throughout this game, and in a refreshing twist, isn't yet another helpless escort character who becomes a chore to babysit. In fact, Elizabeth requires basically no tending to at all. She doesn't even need to be protected, but will rather give the player aid and items during combat, and can even open portals or tears to further bring medikits and weapons to Booker. And let's be fair, she saves your ass more often than not, because when you're shot to ribbons or have about 3 rounds left in your gun, she'll just go, here you go, catch. And you're like, oh, cheers, thank you for that. And at that moment, when you've caught that medikit or that brand new weapon, you just go, oh God, I'm the burden. Oh no, oh no. As gaming allies go, Elizabeth certainly ranks amongst the most useful and capable, enough so that Booker can't really help but seem weak, even a bit useless by comparison. Number 6, Sidolphus Orlando, Final Fantasy Tactics. Okay, so it is simply impossible to talk about overpowered companions without talking about Final Fantasy Tactics and Sidolphus Orlando, aka Thunder God Sid. With a name like that, you kinda get a hint at what you're getting yourself in for. TG Sid is a thinly veiled riff on Star Wars' Obi-Wan Kenobi, a man who, despite being 56 years of age when he joins your party, is an utter force of nature. Though introduced pretty late into the game, Sid's default job of Sword Saint grants him access to almost every sword ability in this game, allowing him to deal mesmeric amounts of damage with Excalibur while needing little backup from the rest of your party. To call him OP is a farcical understatement. He does not need you in the slightest, and you can basically let him go on his merry way and he will slaughter in the millions. You're just like, it's a desperate battle. Sid, what are you up to? And he's just like, is this a challenge for you? Oh, wow. I mean, great job. I'll put a photo of this battle on the fridge. I need to call my agent. Now, granted, there are some pretty heinous battles throughout the game leading up to Orlando joining the party, so you might see it as a well-earned relief by that point, but at the same time, the game really does become a bit of a cakewalk after this. Number 5, Solid Snake, Metal Gear Solid 2, Sons of Liberty. Okay, so we all know by now about Hideo Kojima being the cheeky little whippet that he was and switching out Solid Snake for Raiden, and everyone was just there like, wait, are we playing as this guy the entire game? And he's like... To be fair, he's still a good character. Turned into one of the best characters, thanks to Metal Gear Solid Rising Revengeance. Love that name. But at the same time, fans were obviously pretty pissed to not be playing as Solid Snake, especially when during the game you get to meet up with Solid Snake and he is just so much better than you. You see, Raiden is joined by a few support characters throughout the game, including Iroquois, definitely not Solid Snake Pliskin, who later in the game finally drops his disguise and helps Raiden out in full-on Solid Snake beast mode. And if the first Metal Gear Solid proved anything at all, it was that Solid Snake is basically a licensed wrecker, a literal one-man army who effectively stopped an entire terrorist operation on his lonesome. And if you needed, beyond any shadow of a doubt, a reason why Solid Snake is just far better than the character you're playing during a late game exchange when Raiden just goes, hey, Snake, do you need any help? And he just goes, infinite ammo. Right, okay, so bear with me on this one. As a player, you're just like, oh yeah, he actually does have infinite ammo, and it is amazing that he has got that, and no, he does not need your help in the slightest. Now, to Raiden, obviously that seems like an insane statement. If somebody just goes, this hat, for example, gives me infinite bombs. You think that I should be going to a madhouse and that I should be changing this for a tinfoil hat, right? But he just goes, yep, that checks out, because I ain't gonna question you, because you would kick my ass. I mean, Kojima does give this a bit of an ironic turnaround in Metal Gear Solid 4 though, when protagonist Snake is now aged and decrepit, while Raiden is an awesome cyborg ninja companion, but right here, right now, you suck and Snake rules. Number 4, Donald Duck Kingdom Hearts. Okay, so on a previous Choose Your Own Adventure, I made the, let's just say, questionable decision to say that Donald Duck was an absolute chore to hang out with thanks to his voice and the fact that he has just terrible, woeful HP and continuously finds himself right in the heat of battle. But you know what? I'm here to rectify this story. This is not his villain arc, but actually the real championing of Donald Duck. Because let's face it, when it comes to what actual magic offense he puts out, ye gods, I do not want to get on his bad side. Because if you're willing to put up with his relentless squawking and need to be constantly healed, you will find that he is an extremely powerful magic user with some truly ridiculous spells. But Donald's most infamous crowning moment came in Kingdom Hearts 3, where he used Zeta Flare to fend off Terra Zehanaut. Terra Zehanaut? How do you pronounce it? I haven't played this far. Just got too confused. Now, to be clear, Zeta Flare is the most powerful spell in the Kingdom Hearts and Final Fantasy franchise, enough so that even the legendary Bahamut wasn't capable of wielding it, until that was finally corrected in the recent Final Fantasy XVI. But the point stands, though, that Kingdom Hearts 3 elevates Donald from a surprisingly potent magic user to one of the most powerful in existence, a revelation so ridiculous that it's since spawned innumerable memes. And though this spell definitely takes a toll on our poor Donald, and Goofy even just goes, well, maybe you shouldn't be using that, and he passes out from the overexertion of actually using the spell, it turns him into a comically OP character, and one that everyone forevermore afterwards should just be like, yeah, if he's coming at me and he's angry, I'm just going to nod and say sorry and back off. Number 3, Trico, The Last Guardian. Okay, so I know on paper The Last Guardian markets itself as a game focused primarily on teamwork, but let's just be honest. This is a glorified baby simulator where you are just looking after a massive, massive child. But unfortunately, this massive, massive child is also a huge animal that could crush you like a bug with one false move. Yeah. Players control an unnamed boy who must team up with said creature called Trico in order to escape an expansive set of ruins. As the player, your role is limited to nudging Trico forward, that is, by feeding him, petting him, and pulling levers that he can't operate, while as a gigantic creature orders of magnitude larger than you, Trico can quickly traverse the environment, battle enemies, and take huge amounts of damage. So basically, it's their show, and you are just a side character, because you're just going like, well, I'm going to put you into position for you to do the things that I could only dream of doing, like being so strong, like having a weird little beaky face, and also just being big, just being a big boy, being a big good boy. The game itself even seems to have fun pointing this out, given that The Last Guardian's seemingly intentionally finicky AI can make it tough to command Trico at all, just like a real animal. But the point here is that he is a force of nature, not just some pet for you to control. He's doing his own thing, and you're just along for the ride. Number 2, Jack, Mass Effect 2. Okay, so I find myself a bit conflicted talking about Jack from the Mass Effect series because she is right up there at the tippy top with my favourite characters in the entire series, maybe only being pipped to the post by Garrus because of calibrations. But at the same time, the fact that she is up there demonstrates just how utterly powerful, how utterly potent she is, and how much of a mark she made on the fan base. Not just because she has a cool, edgier than edgy look and an outlook on life that could be determined as, whoa dude, calm down, but also because she is one of the most powerful biotic users in this entire series, and it shows numerous times over. The fact that she's been held in cryogenic stasis when you recruit her says it all, really. Jack has an astonishingly dangerous level of potential power, even if she's unstable and never been shown how to properly harness said power. And though there's a clear gulf between Jack's in-game combat abilities and her potency during cutscenes, the fact that she's able to hold a biotic shield for a long amount of time during Mass Effect 2's suicide mission is a testament to how strong she truly is. Now remember, at this point, Miranda has been shown to be a genetically engineered human to be the best of the best of the best, and even she can't hold a candle to Jack when it comes to biotic power usage. And number 1, Roden, Bayonetta. Look, I don't know how to say this any more plainly than this. You do not get a nickname like the Infinite One for nothing. So when you see that title is attached to Roden, you know you're in for something special. Much as Bayonetta is a supremely powerful kick-ass Umbra witch, she ultimately falls short of Roden, an exiled demonic weaponsmith who also happens to be the most powerful demon in Inferno. And if there was any doubt, Platinum Games themselves confirmed that Roden is indeed the most powerful character in the entire series, far surpassing even Bayo herself. And yes, you can actually fight Roden in 2 of the games, but I would recommend against it because he will kick your ass this way to Sunday and back again. Pack your bags, send you on holiday to Sunday's cousin destination island. You have a lovely time, come back, and then he's waiting for you down the ramp, and he just goes, bam, hits you with another one. That's how much he's going to kick your ass. But this naturally raises the question, why doesn't Roden get off his ass and just take out the bad guys himself? Well, apparently that's not his style. He's mostly happy just hanging out and selling his wares at the bar, the gates of hell. But rest assured, if he wanted to, if he could actually be motivated enough to go out there, well, we wouldn't get any of these games at all because the bad guys would be defeated just like that. And there we go, my friends. Those were 8 video game companions so strong that basically you're getting in their way. I hope you enjoyed that, and please let me know what you thought about it down in the comment section below, and pop your suggestions for next week's episode down there as well. And if you want to chat to me in the meantime on the social medias, you can follow me over here. I would recommend going and follow me on Instagram because I'm posting more stuff about Warhammer. So if you're interested in all model painting and the games that surround the beautiful sport known as Little Plastic Men, then please come join me over there. Follow Dan as well because he is a good boy indeed. indeed. But before I go, I just want to say one thing. Even though we spoke today about video game companions that were so strong you basically got in their way, you know what? You should never get in the way of yourself. You should be a bit kinder to yourself, right? You are a massive ledge and you deserve all the best things in life, like love, happiness, and success. We all do as human beings, all right? And I hope that you are achieving your life goals today. I hope you're smashing it because I believe in you and you need to believe in yourself as well. As always, I've been Jules. You have been awesome. Never forget that. I'll speak to you soon. Bye.